Well, turning now to deflection. That's the option of treatment over jail for those caught solely with possession of hard drugs after they were recriminalized last year. It has been a hot topic this week, especially after Multnomah County's annual report was released showing that few people are actually using the program, less than 2 per day on average over the last year, and even fewer are actually completing it. But there is an Oregon county whose deflection program is showing promise. And those involved will join us live in just a minute. But first, some quick background. Last year, when state lawmakers repealed the experiment that was Measure 110 and voted to recriminalize drug possession, the legislature gave Oregon counties the option of creating deflection programs so that people caught with drug possession can be connected with addiction treatment instead of sent straight to jail. So, 28 of the state's 36 counties decided to give it a shot, each coming up with their own way of doing it. Multnomah County spent more than $3 million renovating this building on the Central East Side. They even brought in a group from Baltimore to run it. However, recent data shows it's not working as well as they had hoped. From September 1st of last year to the end of August this year, law enforcement referred 520 people to the deflection center. 392 of those people actually decided to stay and talk with someone, while the rest, over 120, simply turned around and walked right out the door. Of the 392 people who engaged, just 113 of them took that additional step to complete deflection, meaning they accessed at least one service that was offered to them. So, of the 520 total people police referred to deflection, just 21%, around 1 in 5, actually received some kind of service to complete the program. County staff said just 8 people actually went to treatment. This week, County Commissioner Shannon Singleton joined me live here on the show to share her proposed changes to the program, such as connecting people immediately with sober shelter options instead of sending them back to the streets. You can watch that full interview on our KGW YouTube page. And then yesterday, Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez said that starting in January, his office will be demanding accountability from those taken to the deflection center, threatening to prosecute those who drop out of the program.
Those reports will come to my office, and either they will have a citation to appear at a future court date, or if the other route would be that a warrant would be issued for their arrest. Those are the two options. And the way I've always approached this is it's a bit of a push and a pull. Yes, we want to help push them to the right direction. We should also be there to pull them up as well.
But let's get back to that deflection program that we mentioned. That seems like it's on the right track. It's down in Lane County, think the city of Eugene. We want to start by bringing in Art Zamudio. He's the lead supervisor at Ideal Option, an addiction treatment center in Eugene, under contract with the county's deflection program. Art, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so walk me through what deflection looks like from someone's first encounter with police all the way to treatment.
Okay, so in Lane County, there's about 9 different charges, lower level quality of life charges that a police officer can offer people out on the street. We have forensic navigators that respond 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Rather, if that's 1:30 in the morning, we're there within 15 to 30 minutes where we meet the officer and the individual that's facing that charge. It's optional to them to come into the program, but we are all people with lived experience, offering them something different if they want to come into the program. And then at that point, within 24 hours, we do an intake with them, finding out what services they want, what ideas they have on getting clean. It's a very person-centered approach. And then our job is to help navigate them through that system because there's a lot of challenges that come up, a lot of advocacy that needs to happen. And then our job is to help fulfill those goals so that they can get into detox, they can get into treatment or medicated assisted treatment, whatever their goals are on reaching recovery.
We want to take a look at the Lane election. 280 participants with 60 people currently going through it, nearly 3 dozen completed deflection, and the majority of participants were removed. Okay, let's start with the successes. Here in Multnomah County, success is simply the person accessing some kind of service referred to them at the deflection center within 30 days. So what does successful deflection look like in Lane County?
So in Lane County, you have to be in the program a minimum of 90 days. But what we're seeing is there's an average around 153 days of someone being in the program. But again, even that is person-centered. What we're looking at is stability. So someone being able to obtain um, no use of alcohol or drugs, stability in their life, engaged in services, reunification with family, in all areas of their life where they no longer have a need for us anymore and they can feel successful in their goals moving forward and have the support systems in place for their dreams to come true.
You know, the county website notes if someone fails or is removed from the program, they could face the drug charge that initially landed them in deflection. That's what Multnomah County's DA plans to do in January. What do you think about that approach?
I think that every county has to decide what works for them. I can say that in Lane County, that's been a great motivator for us. So we meet with the district attorney's office weekly to staff the clients that are engaged in our program. And sometimes if they're not engaging with the navigators, we'll send them a message and we'll let them know, hey, we want to support you. You said you wanted to do something different, but you're coming up to, we're going to have to staff you. And if they want to close you out, then that charge could be moving forward and a warrant could be placed out for your arrest. And that's been a great carrot to get people to be motivated. I think accountability for all of us is something that we've learned and we appreciate for change.
What are some of the biggest takeaways you would say from some recent meetings with the DA's office? Is there anything you guys are looking to change?
I think that we're always looking at where we can make changes to better our program. I think what helps us be successful is we have a great relationship with our law enforcement partners. The police officers are the ones that start the whole offer by offering deflection to the people. They're making the contact with the individuals. And these are people that the officers have already been working with for years now. So they have an established relationship. And then the district attorney, especially for those that have been successful in the program, maybe they came in with previous charges. Maybe there's warrants that we were able to help clear up. As long as they're successful in their recovery program, law enforcement and corrections around has been helpful in assisting to remove barriers.
Okay, Art, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so when comparing Lane County's program to Multnomah's, the biggest difference is giving someone immediate shelter while they wait for a treatment bed. That's not happening here in Portland, though one of Commissioner Shannon Singleton's proposals is to take people from the deflection center to sober shelter services immediately. Many advocates argue that that window of opportunity to get someone treatment closes quickly. Okay, joining me live now is Joey Whitaker, the program director of Reveille Foundation in Eugene. So they're the ones who provide that shelter to people as they wait for treatment. Joey, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, I want to hone in on that piece. Shelter while waiting for treatment. Why is that so important to this deflection process?
Yeah, so there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? If somebody doesn't have a warm place to sleep, food to eat, clothing to wear, they focus most of their energy on getting those resources. So what this does is we provide that if that's a barrier to where the navigators can actually focus on getting them into detox, whatever that path of treatment is. So we remove those barriers here around like basic human needs, right? So, yeah.
I'm curious, is there enough shelter in Eugene for the number of people going through deflection? Have you ever run into not having a bed for someone when they need it?
No. So we've turned one room 4 times in one day. So this is just like a landing point. It's not the destination, right? So the navigators get them in, we get them into a room. They could go to detox, residential recovery house, whatever that path of treatment for them, for the individual is. So we've never once had to turn away anybody. It's an airport, right? They land and then they're off going somewhere else to treatment.
What happens if someone leaves the shelter before treatment?
So then they're still engaged in the deflection program. So then it triggers like an outreach, right, and try to get them re-engaged. But yeah, this isn't mandatory. This is an option for them to stabilize, and they're just stabilization units. It's what they are.
So without your services, how do you think deflection would change in Lane County? Without them, would it be the sort of revolving door that we're seeing here in Portland?
You know, I'm not really familiar with how the other counties are doing it. I know that
Okay.
part of that success that we have here is due to that being an option, right? It's hard to stop using or even focus on treatment goals if you don't have a warm place to sleep. It gives them a place to decompress, have some warm food, have clothing, and we work on all of those things. And if they're here for a while, we offer groups 5 days a week to build those skills.
Okay, Joey, thank you for your time tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you think about the deflection process down in Eugene? Is it a model that leaders in Multnomah County should look at? Or do you think the two parts of the state are just too different for something like that to work here in Portland? Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090.